All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. And James Gunn made a huge announcement on social media today. And we're going to look at who he chose to be the director, not the director, but the composer for the Superman film. And boy, it's just another issue that I think is a step in the wrong direction for Warner Brothers. But we're going to see what I've grabbed since yesterday, and we're going to talk about this composer. All right, so here's a post that James Gunn did on Instagram yesterday. You can see that it was liked by Pratt, which is Chris Pratt. And James Gunn said, "Represent the yes on the Superman Legacy Tech Scout." And so they are gearing up to start filming this movie next month. And I really hope this movie is good, but I don't have high hopes. And we'll be talking about this here in just a few minutes. So there were a lot of questions out there that people were assuming that James Gunn wanted only one Batman running around and that Batman the Brave and the Bold would not start filming until after the Matt Reeves trilogy had finished. And they haven't even started, there's no script for Part 2, and they haven't started filming Part 2. And it says here that James Gunn confirms The Brave and the Bold will not release after the conclusion of Matt Reeves' The Batman trilogy. So we will have two Batmans at the same time. Next up, I've been talking about the Superman documentary about Christopher Reeve that was coming out and that somebody needed to pick this movie up. And it looks like, well, it's not just looks like, James Gunn confirmed that the Christopher Reeve documentary Superman has been acquired by Warner Brothers Discovery. Warner Brothers DC Studios, Warner Brothers Motion Pictures, HBO, CNN Films, and Max jointly sought out the Sundance film. I wish it was anybody but Warner Brothers. I really do. All right, guys, so here we go. This is the composer of Superman Legacy, and we're going to look at what this individual has done in the past. John Murphy will be scoring Superman Legacy. Now, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I am a massive fan of musical scores for films. I collect James Horner scores. I have over 80 of his scores. I know who Steve Jablonsky is. I know who Hans Zimmer is. I know who John Williams is. I have scores from all of those people, but I don't own a single John Murphy score. So what gives? Let's take a look at what he's done, and I'm going to talk about my fears in all of this. So here he is. John Murphy is a British film composer from Liverpool. He began composing scores for films in the early 1990s, working on several successful British movies, enjoying particular success with the soundtracks to Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels in 1998, Snatch in 2000. Since 2000, Murphy has been based in Los Angeles. From here, he has worked with some of the industry's most respected and luminary filmmakers, including Danny Boyle, Stephen Frears, and Michael Mann, and produced several prominent and diverse successes, including 28 Days Later, Miami Vice, Sunshine, and 28 Weeks Later. Guys, I'm telling you right now, I collect musical scores. I have never collected any of these scores, which tells you when I've seen these films, the scores did not make an impact at all. They might have been okay for the films, but they weren't standout scores, none of those. So here are the films that he has scored. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, The Suicide Squad, Les Miserables, The Best Horror Cinema of the 21st Century, Love Never Fails, Forever Found, Frontline, Dispatches, Kick-Ass, The Infected, Armored, The Janky Promoters, The Last House on the Left, 28 Weeks Later, Sunshine, Miami Vice, Basic Instinct 2, The Man, Keeping Up with the Jonesers, Guess Who, Millions, The Perfect Score, Intermission, Friday After Next, 28 Days Later, City by the Sea, New Best Friend, All the Benjamins, Mean Machine, Shooters, Vacuuming Completely Nude in Paradise, Strumpet, Hang Time, Chain of Fools, Liam, Snatch, The Valley, Tube Tales, The Bachelor. I could keep going, guys. These are films that nobody is going to want to pop in and sit back and just listen to. Look at these scores. These are average scores, 7.2, 7.2, 7.9, 7.9. This guy is not a AAA composer, and Warner Brothers is making what is one of their most important films ever. Guys, I cannot tell you how disappointed I am by this. Music is a huge component of movies, like a massive component. You have to feel something when you watch those movies. When you watch something like Snatch or you watch 28 Days Later, you're not feeling this emotional connection to what's happening. You might have some tense feeling. You know, they might be doing this intense scene on the screen, but it's not eliciting this type of feeling that you're going to want to experience again and again. Versus something like Braveheart, Titanic, The Rocketeer, movies like that, Avatar, Transformers, How to Train Your Dragon, all of those, the guy who did those, Superman, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, like these guys. This guy is an average composer, and I'm not knocking what he does. He's successful at what he does, but he is not a grade A composer. You are making what is the most important superhero film that has ever been made. Nobody can argue this at this point. This is a make or break it for Warner Brothers. It's a make or break it moment, guys. And this is who they chose to be the composer. And again, I'm not knocking him on his skills. He gets hired for the project he gets hired for a reason. But he has never done anything on this scale. So we have a bunch of people, and people are like, well, James Gunn, wrote this, he didn't do this, he did this, he did this. But this is different. What's going on here with Superman Legacy is completely different than anything this composer and this director have ever done in their lives. They have to step up to the podium. They haven't made it to the podium yet. They have to step up to the challenge here. They have to step up to the plate. They can't hit a single. They can't hit a double. They can't hit a triple. These have to be home runs or grand slams, or it's over. All right, guys, this is just another one of those disappointing moments. Now, some people are speculating that they're still going to use John Williams' theme, because I don't know how this composer could have had, James Gunn said something like 80% of the score was already written. How could that be possible when he hadn't even chosen a composer or announced it, and the movie hasn't filmed yet? Because you have to do the music according to the film, which means they're making generic stuff right now, and they're just coming up with themes that aren't going to necessarily fit anything. This has me worried. Guys, music is a huge aspect of a movie, and I tell people, if you want to see how important music is to a film, go watch something like Searching for Bobby Fischer. Searching for Bobby Fischer, if you took the music out of that movie, the movie's going to suck. It's going to suck. Avatar, the second one, didn't have as much of an impact because James Horner didn't do the music. He did the music for the first one. And James Horner, I've never gotten upset about really celebrities dying very much. The most emotional I've ever got over somebody I never met was when James Horner died in a plane crash, because I knew we were never going to get one of his scores again. He's done all of the great films like Braveheart, Legends of the Fall. These are movies that, man, you feel something. You feel something. Steve Jablonsky, Transformers, Arrival to Earth. Go look up the song Arrival to Earth for Transformers and just put headphones on and sit back and listen to that. Listen to Hans Zimmer. Go listen to the score for The Island and stuff like that. My gosh, these are the people who should be doing these types of movies. They're taking the cheap route, guys. I can tell you they did this because they can get this composer for a cheap cost, and that James Gunn has worked with him. He's going to continue to work with all the people that made the Marvel films, which are just mediocre at best. There's no other way to put it. I have zero hope now, that this movie is going to be anything other than a mid-movie. I hope I'm proven wrong, but these guys got to step up. They have to step up. All right, guys, what do you think about this announcement today? I'll be back tomorrow talking a little bit about Rocksteady and the controversy with the new Suicide Squad game that just released today. I am not picking it up. In fact, I started playing Batman Arkham City yesterday. I'd played the first one on my Steam Deck about 3 or 4 months ago, and now I'm on to the second one. I'm playing it on my PS5, and I'm just going to enjoy what Rocksteady's given us. But, yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. All right, guys, there's my update for the day. I do appreciate the support. We'll see you on the next video.